Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. I can't stress being realistic enough. I can't stress that enough because what I'm seeing with a lot of guys out here is simply that they're not realistic. Seriously, that's all it is. It's like they are not realistic about who they are, the type of women they get. Like you get some guys talking about they want some dimes. And serious too. They serious about that, right? They say, well, I got a dime or I got standards and all of that. Okay, but are you realistically going to meet that standard? Yeah, you want dimes, but you might live in a region that got quite a few overweight women, jacked up women, wherever, right? That's one. So it's like, well, the first thing is it realistic that you want to meet a dime and you live in an area where the best woman might be a six? She might be a dime for that area. Indeed, people who traveled a bit, they'll make a difference between maybe attractive. They'll say a South Carolina 7 versus a LA 7, and if they travel, they'll say it's a big difference because it's whatever's in the area. So some guys ain't realistic, and then you know what? Some guys will say they want a dime, but then they can't have a regular conversation with the 5. So you know if you got, or even attract a 5. So if you ain't at that point where even a 5 shows interest in you, how you going to get a dime? That's not realistic. If you can't attract, look, here's the thing, because I know, look, it's fair you ain't wanting some low-level woman. I would tell guys don't go below a 5, right? But if you can't even attract that, how you going for somebody higher? If you don't got your shit together, you're not being realistic. Or let me jump into something like a lot of guys will say. They was like, well, if I get money, I can get that dime or I can get that beautiful woman. Okay. And women are moved by money. We can't get past that. Even though I was like, if a woman deal with you on that level, she's an acculturated prostitute, you're a John, you're a trick. You're a lick. Right? But, hey, if you think, okay, well, I'm going to get that money and stuff, and I just need money, because you get some guys, they say, yeah, you just need money. Okay, that's fair. Here's the thing. Are you being realistic about making that money? Seriously, if that's what you want to do, and some dudes, hey, that's what they want to do. They'll pay for the woman because that's all they need from her is sex, and they'll just pay for it and go do their thing. Okay. What are you doing? Are you not being realistic? You work a minimum wage job and you don't have any skills to actually make money. What you gonna do? Save up that minimum wage job when you gotta probably, you don't have to pay rent because you're living in your mama's basement. Oh, let me get into that in a second. But you don't gotta pay rent or anything, right? Are you being realistic about wanting that fine woman? And then are you living in an area where you can even meet them? That money, especially with the money thing. I mean, come on now. I be seeing guys say that, but then you be like, well, what are you doing? Are you making some money? Are you doing something to bring in more money? Are you getting your education? You working on a skill? And then you still living in that jacked up situation? What are you doing? If it's the money thing, how come you ain't working to build up your money? You ain't being realistic about what you can get, right? And then you still got to be able to deal with them. But you got some guys want a dime, but then scared to talk to a basic woman. Like, how you gonna get a woman you can't talk to? And you notice I ain't even get into like how you look or your body build or anything. I ain't even get into that. Cause shoot, some people some people even got like some of the basic stuff. Like if I wanted to meet dimes, just dimes and stuff, I'm like, well, got some young girl dimes where I live, but like I said, young girl. I can get some attention from young girls, but shoot, if I'm smart, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. That ain't necessarily my lane. And any man should think that. Any man should be realistic about your circumstances, who you are. Now, here's the beauty of it all. You can also realistically change your circumstances. What I'd say, why I push body game, because anybody can change their body. Why'd I say if you want to improve your facial features and stuff, it's like, look, haircut, even working out will deal with the fat on your face and everything. And you can even build up the muscles on your face. You know? Because around your jawline and stuff, those are muscles. Around your neck, everything. You can realistically build up your body. But are you doing it? See, realistic is you actually doing the work. So you can build up your physicality. Your money thing, look, I'm going to tell you what. Unless you are mentally challenged to the point that you cannot work, you can build up your money too. And I mean that. Anybody can do it. Anybody, I'm serious. Anybody can go to school. Anybody can improve themselves. Get some, you can get a certification. There's a lot of people getting certification in both IT, some IT, or maybe they're getting a license, a driving license, something. You can build that up. And somebody say, well, how could you build it up driving? Just real quick, because, a lot of people don't hit my business channel. Well, shoot, you might could create a company, trucking company, transportation company, or something like that. I remember a scenario I gave to some bougie women, who didn't want to mess with some blue collar men. And this is a tangent, but let me flow with it. And I said to them, hey, you could get that blue collar guy, but y'all could create a corporation. Say he a bus driver, and maybe y'all put y'all money together. Y'all get a bus. Get a bus and offer it to some churches or something, and offer to drive people around, and then just keep building. All of a sudden, maybe after 5 to 10 years, you got a major transportation company, bus company, and a bunch of stuff. All right? But getting back on track, if a man think it's money or building up, boom, you need to do it. And in fact, and look, here's the thing, ain't nothing wrong with wanting that fine woman in that life, provided you willing to work for it. But see, a lot of dudes, they ain't realistically working for it. Seriously, ain't nothing wrong with wanting the things but you gotta be realistic about getting the things. But see, a lot of guys ain't realistic enough. A lot of guys sitting on their ass and stuff and thinking they should get a fine woman, and then get mad when a fine woman don't talk to them. I say, well, dude, you ain't work on your bait. You ain't work on your personality, your conversation. You ain't being realistic. Now, like I said, that's the main thing I'm trying to tell you. It's shit, you can have whatever you want. Just work. Build yourself up. Be realistic. But you're not being realistic. You think you fucked up. You ain't in the best shape. You ain't no fashion model. You don't got no damn status. And you barely you making chump change and stuff. But you still want the baddest woman. Nah. And see, a lot of guys just got to be realistic where they are. That's the main thing. Be realistic where you at. Because actually, if you realistic where you at, then you know what to build from. And that's the thing, because you ain't stuck. And that's another thing. Let me emphasize that last part. You ain't stuck nowhere. Only way you stuck somewhere is if you choose to be stuck somewhere. And you need to be realistic where you are to build, all right? So, anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.